Yeah. It's ministry over hip hop. On my way. Let me tell my story, man. Look, I grew up in a small town when as a youngin' life was reckless. Mama wanted change, so we moved out to Texas. Things got worse, but it's not what she expected. So she packed my bags and wished me well and told me get the step. And I wanted money, cars, and everything to be about me. I moved out the hood, but it didn't move out me. Hard-headed kid, they even kicked me out of school. And I had an encounter with this power that knocked me out my shoes. Didn't have a clue what it was, but I knew that I was different and I knew that I was loved. This power in this blood, that's what that preacher man said. I didn't believe, but now I believe, and I'm reppin' till I'm dead. I told my homies go ahead and they can have that old life. I got new life, and yeah, they gone, but long as I got you, Christ broke me and he fixed me, and now I love my screws tight, and no longer do I indulge in that Romans 2:12 life. I got new life, yeah, I got new life, and it's all because of you, Christ, that I got new life. So when you see me, just call me New Life, and that is NEWLYFE. No longer am I a slave, cause your boy has been set free. Wait, well, the spirit, he arrested me. Took me cause my life was darker than Wesley. I love my sin. For that 5 years ago, I'd have been in hell, homie, no joke. But he made me alive, oh me, cause if I told say, you don't live here no more. Got that from Calvin Hunt, no longer am I wildin'. I'm dependent on the 3, Ray Allen. But I still wonder why he picked me. My life was so nasty and it showed like a hickey. We had beef more than Wendy's. So how can we ever be friends? Then he friend me, I accepted indeed. Yeah, now I got new life, and it's all because of you, Christ, that I got new life. Yeah. Jesus, you gave me new life. And I thank you, Lord, for new life. Thank you for new life. So when you see me, just call me New Life. It's MOH. Ministry over hip hop. New life. Once again, let's go. The MOH production. Ministry over hip hop. New life is in the building.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I belong to God. I belong to God. Look, I belong to God, homie. I am not my own. And the old me, he's old news, he's gone. Went to the dome, rest in peace, that's all she wrote. I heard the angels celebrating, well, I'ma take a toast. Denying myself is good for my health. Every morning that I rise, I thank God and start killing myself. I know that sound kinda crazy, cause you're feeling yourself. You chasing it well, but homie, that's gonna lead you right straight to your death. Boy, I live for God. Why you act surprised? He ain't changed my wardrobe, he changed what's inside. I'm a new creature, a new species. Let me make it simple. I am not the same me. I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I am not my own. I belong to God. I belong to God. I belong to God. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, 7:23. My life ain't been my own since the day I was redeemed. I belong to the King. To myself, I had to die. So when he tell me to jump, I ask him how high. You probably don't understand, cause I ain't always know neither. 1 Peter 2:9 shouted we a chosen people. Holy means set apart. Purpose for a service. This life ain't mine, cause my own agenda worthless. Selfish, vain of fulfillment I can't obtain, but the fulfillment in the spirit, a joy I can't contain. So I wake up and put my head down on that chopping block. Suicide every day. Know what I'm talking about. I am not my I am not my I am not my I am not my own, I belong to God. I am not my own, I belong to God. I am not my own, I belong to God. I am not my own, I belong to God. I belong to God. I belong to God.
Think you might mute it, bro.
All right, then. There you go. All right, then. First time in a long time, but hey, I got to stay true to myself, don't I? My man, brother Zion Isreal. How you doing, brother?
Salute, sir.
Man, I'm blessed. You took me back, brother, with those videos y'all just played, man. So,
right.
Man, I love to see it.
I saw the look on your face
like that, man.
It took me back.
Yeah. I tell you, sitting down talking to you in the interview, and all praises to the Most High for that interview as well. It's gotten a great reception. Really, really great reception. But sitting back looking at it, when I turned it on, I remember that had came up, and you had mentioned that you used to be a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah, you said it, and as soon as you said that, I paused it. I paused the interview. And that's when I hit you up. I said, hey, I remember you said you used to be a hip hop artist. What was your stage name? You told me. I wouldn't found it. Because I had something all the way lined up different for the show. But when I came across that, I said, yo, I'm going to bring these in. That's the reason why I said Sister Delta might be calling you, man. Now, hey, the secret is out now. It's no longer a secret. It's no longer a secret.
The most I do is work. I might have to come out, come out of retirement. You never know.
Come on, man.
Boy, brother, I was thoroughly impressed. Like, I'm a music head, and anybody that know me know I love music. So, and I don't, if I don't like something, I don't like it. I just ain't gonna come right out and say I don't like it like that. You know what I'm saying? But bro, your music was fire, man. It really was, brother. So why don't you introduce the people? Let the people know who you are and what you are about. That way, for the ones who may have not seen the interview, and for those who have seen the interview, they could get real acquainted with you, brother.
Yes, sir. Well, first thing first, I am a husband, married for 7 years, beautiful wife. We have 5 beautiful children. And, with that being said, of course, a child of the Most High God, we've been blessed to be in this truth for, 5 to 6 years, knowing of who we are, and really 2 or 3 years really living this thing, trying our best to keep the laws in every way that we can to the best of our ability. And, business coach, financial coach. I love my people, love the community, man, love serving my people. At the end of the day, I think when it comes to it, I'm someone who's been put here to teach and to also be taught, and to sum it up, that's who I am.
Oh man. So you're a man, and I don't know who's seen the interview or not, but if you have, the brother know his stuff, man. Understand me. And I'm supposed to have his information here, but before we get out of here, we will be making sure that you do get the information on how to get in touch with him. If you're thinking about investments, life insurance, anything that has to do with monies, Zion Isreal is the man that you need to talk to. For the contest, 2 tickets. You know that we giving away tickets here on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast for the Friends Up Family Fest that is going to be hosted in Atlanta on July the 30th. First question. Who was the very first artist that Ayo Ben Yahoo interviewed?
Good question. That's good.
Very first artist that Ayo Ben Yahoo interviewed and also appeared on the show as well the very next night. That's 1 ticket. Second ticket, give me the name and the artist of last week's second song break. Those are the 2 questions for the night to get 2 tickets that'll get you into the door of the Family Friends Stuff Family Fest. Also have some announcements that I want to make, some businesses here. And then we're going to get right on to the show. We want to shout out to 3MG Management Music, along with the Light Hebrew Magazine. In conjunction, they are the one that's going to be hosting the Friends Up Family Fest that is going to be in Atlanta as well. It was also brought to my attention the grand opening, which is going to be July 9th, 2023. The Light will be in the building. This is going to be a business for Sister Shayel Naeem. She is a apparel. She makes Hebrew apparels. She's going to have a brick and mortar store there in Dallas, Texas. Okay. The address. Do I have the address? I don't have the address, but I do know that it's going to be in Oak Cliff on Lancaster Street, right up the street from the VA hospital, if you're familiar with Dallas. So please go by and check that sister out. Every week, we're going to try to highlight some business on this show as well. We're going to try to highlight some business on this show, some Hebrew business on this show as well. Yeah. So with that being said, hey, brothers, how y'all been doing? How had good week?
Good week. Doing good. All praises to be here. All praise to have my man Zion Israel. And when you told me that he had balls, I ain't know it was like that. Like she'll call me was like, yo, you about to see it. I'm like, okay. But yeah, man, good to have you on. It's been a great week. Been looking forward to this, having you on, man. The interview that you and Sheer did, that was fire. I have the utmost respect for, like you said, the love of our people, for our people. Yeah. Me being a business major and having a business degree and working in finance, I respect the fact that this is your career to help your people, man, and help everybody, man. Because a lot of us come in that field and don't stick with it. We'll be with it for a little while, and then when it kind of don't work out how we like, so all praise for the Most High for you, man. And I'm excited to have you on tonight. But it's been a great week for me, though. It's been an awesome week for me. Excited about this show, man.
Same here, brother. Same here. Great week, busy week. You know, when you're in business, it's always good, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, just trying to stay busy. And, you know, I appreciate you guys to allow me once again to be on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. It's always a blessing to be here with brothers that like-minded, man. And always a blessing to be around brothers that's like-minded. And I appreciate you guys for playing that, you know, those tunes right there. I told you, I got some new ones. We have not found them yet, but I will find them. There will be some true tunes right there for. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I send it over to you, Brother Shahir, very soon, so you can check the new ones, the updated ones out. And give me your feedback.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hit.
Yeah, I can't wait either, brother. I can't wait either. And I'm gonna say this as well, Zion. I listen to your lyrics and your songs. Sitting down talking to you, first of all, I never would have thought that, you know, when you said that you were in hip hop, you know, I was like, oh, okay, he was in hip hop, right? You know, and so when I heard the music, I was like, wow, this brother here was doing his thing. But it wasn't that you was just doing your thing. I was listening to the lyrics that you were expressing as well. You was having testimonies in both of those songs. Sitting down talking to you and looking at you right now, I can tell that the Most High has put you in a whole nother arena than where you used to be. You know, and it's the same as me, right? I tell people some of the things that I've done, places that I've been, some of my background, they be like, I can't see that. To me, that's a blessing that you can't see that, right? Because that means that I have grown. And from listening to what you was talking about in those songs, I can't see you being a knucklehead. You see what I'm saying? I can't see you being, you know what I'm saying? That one of the songs you said you wanted to be a dope dealer. I don't see that in Zion Israel. You dig what I'm saying? But hey, so all of us have a testimony. But the beautiful thing is that none of us is probably what we want to be.
That's right. That's right.
But none of us is what we used to be.
That's right.
Yeah,
And we are steady pressing towards that mark. So, brother, you know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that the Most High has called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. And I don't think that anything happens just by chance, So, us meeting you, you being on the show, all of this here was by design. So, again, we want to say thank you, brother, for blessing us with your presence, man.
To expound on that, I think that's how it's supposed to be. Every part of our lives, every year, we're supposed to be evolving. We're supposed to look back at each other 5 years from now and be like, man, my brother Inyo Ben Yahoo is a whole different brother than I met 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
And that can be a 180 from the world, or mentally, or spiritually, or financially, right? We're supposed to continue to evolve in every area of our life. That's my belief. So I appreciate that. All praise to the Most High.
Right.
Sir.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. And before we go any further, I do, as an artist myself.
Yeah.
You said to expound off what Sheer was saying and what you just said. You said in that first song, I moved out of the hood, but it didn't move out of me.
Yeah.
That resonates because with you being a business and financial coach, real quick, I want to ask you, do you think in some of our entertainers, NBA, NFL, when they get that check coming straight out of high school or that 1 year of college, haven't had that foundational financial and business background, do you think they forget that they come from the hood and that the hood is not out of them? Or do you think they still want to be hood? Is that some of our downfall, do you think?
Man, you touching on something, brother. We hear from our brother, was it Jamar Grant? What's his name? The brother who
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant, yeah. So we can see that, and I'm not sure he's from the hood. I don't know his brother background.
I don't think he's from the hood.
I don't think he's a
kid.
Okay, gotcha. So I think there's times where we move in areas or we get a check, like you mentioned, brother, and sometimes we do forget who we are and we act like we too good for our people, or we just completely change for the worse.
Okay.
Then there's some people who understand they are from the hood. They don't want to go back, right? They want to get better. They want to evolve. It's like, man, I know I'm pursuing this business, degree in school, but I still got some hood in me. I got to make sure I continue to be disciplined and study and be diligent, so I don't go back into that lifestyle, right? So some of us, we understand who we are, well, not who we are, but we understand where we come from, and we try our best not to get back there. But then some people, they literally like, no, I ain't trying to go back there, and it's like they're not my people, or I'm ashamed. I don't talk about it, right? So it depends on that. But I know for me, I always wanted to look at a brother who came from where I'm from and put him in a position and say, if I can do it, you can do it. So I always want to let people know where I came from for that reason. So hopefully I answer your question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Yes, that did.
I know we got to move on, but I want to add something to what you was talking about, Ayo, because you did strike something, man. I do maintenance in apartments, right? And the apartments that I'm working in now are housing apartments, and which means that a lot of the people that are in the apartments, not all of them, but a lot of them are being government funded, right? Section A, they paying their bills. These are some of the nastiest apartments, man. And it was breaking my heart because when I got there, yesterday morning, the manager was like, we kind of understaffed, so we're going to have to use you guys to pick up the grounds, right? Man, I was out there picking up the grounds, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, man, these nasty jokers, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't care about nothing. And of course, it's Israel, right? I'm like, why is it? The Ruach just started speaking to me. And I'm referring this to Zion too. And I want you to tell me if I was thinking right or not. The Ruach began to speak to me. And what she's told me was, it's not that your people are nasty. It's that your people don't understand value. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as I was cleaning up the ground and I was looking at all of the garbage and the trash and I was like, man, this is crazy. I said, only in our neighborhoods. And we know that that's how it would be, right?
Right.
Our people don't understand value. You look at other nations, they look at money differently than how we look at it.
Yeah.
They look at property different than how we look at it. Yeah. And that's what the Ruach began to explain to me, is that it's not that they're nasty. They don't care because they don't see the value in where it is that they stay. Like with other nations, they can live in those same apartments, but they're going to take care of them because they understand the value of of what it is that they have. They think of buy and sell. Right. We're just consumers. Right. Other nations think buy, sell. And if you're going to sell something, that means that you got to take care of it, because don't nobody want to buy something that don't. You see what I'm saying? Because the first thing came to my mind, I wanted to see somebody. So I'd be like, man, don't you care about where it is that you stay? And I know how we are, right? Man, I don't care about this here, and throw paper out on the floor and keep it moving. Why? Because they don't understand the value.
Right.
It's not valuable to them.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And as he told me that, I began to understand. I was like, okay, Mason, I was still mad. Don't get me wrong. But it made a lot of sense to me. Like, we don't understand the value of real estate, money, and all we know how to do is consume. All we know how to do. Are we there? Can y'all hear me?
There you go. Yeah, you back now.
There you go.
I hear you.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
Cool.
You back.
Yeah,
you back.
yeah.
You back.
But yeah, we never have those real conversations about finances and and things like that. A lot of the times, us growing up, our parents be like, you're asking what's wrong. They'll just tell you, why you gonna pay the bills, or it ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the reasons why our neighborhoods be in the situation, and that's part of the curses. That is part of the curses.
There you go. So, I mean, what came to my mind, brother, what you said is so great. And to be honest with you, I experienced that. I was actually a part of that, me being that individual, because like you said, we're not taught. When I was young, grew up without a father, in the neighborhood, my mama raising two bad knucklehead boys at the time. And she did the best that she could do. But with us not being taught how to value things, it's like we take things for granted. And, us knowing the situation that we're in, as a young kid, you don't really grasp everything that's going on, but you know that you're in poverty, right? You know that you don't own these apartments. So you barely own a place that you barely have a place to live next week. You don't know if you even be there next week, right? So you just have this really don't care type of mentality, especially young boys, at the time without father figures, right? And I remember that. I remember like someone sitting me down and telling me a scripture in Ecclesiastic, whatever thy hands find to do with all thy might. So knowing that, I started to value things more. Like whatever I'm doing, I want to make sure that I do it unto the Lord, right? And I also want to do it with profession and do it the best of my ability. But like you said, I've got to be taught these things. And then I saw myself changing. But that's why this is important, these conversations, and us being out in the field, talking to our brothers and sisters about how important it is. Because if they don't see us taking our stuff, what we have serious, how can they take us serious, right? But those things need to be taught. So I'm that brother you talking about, brother Jair.
I was that brother too, and that's why
Yep.
it was so easy for me to relate to it. I was that brother because that's the first thing come out of our mouth. You know, I don't own these apartments. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't own. You know what I'm saying? And see, with other nations, they're taught to value wherever they are at.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep.
And
Yep.
Oh, I think we lost him.
I think we lost him
and
again.
I'm
There you
thankful
go.
There you go.
for my mom because I think I shared it with Ayo. Man, here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Starting.
Here we go. All right. But yeah, I think I shared it with Ayob. You know, my mama used to always tell me, I grew up in West Dallas projects, and she would always tell you live in projects, but you're not projects. In other words, they don't have that mentality of being from the projects, you know. And that was something that always resonated with me. But let's get on to this. Let's get this show going.
Yeah.
We got a critical race theory, my man.
Yeah, we do, man. We do. And I was reading this the other night, and everybody know we do the Beyond Critical Race Theories here that brings that awareness for the things that we're not taught in elementary, middle, high school, and even our college institutions about what happened to our people. And truly things happening now, and our lives are parallel with the ancestors, with the Israelites of the Bible, and how things were set in the foundation then and still now, and about those curses we were just talking about. So I ran across this when we've been doing the On This Day series, part of Beyond Critical Race Theory, and yesterday, June 27th, 1911, the headline says, and I got this article from a historyofracialinjustice.com. Y'all guys go there. They have On This Day, a calendar goes back for years, that things that happened that we forgot about because it was just spoon-fed a little bit. We glossed over it through history, Black History Month or whatever, or things we've absolutely never heard about. And over the past few weeks, we did a show a few episodes ago talking about the Klan and how they had senators, governors, judges in in business, disguised as regular people. So this one came across, folks. On this day, June 27, 1911, says a white mob in Georgia lynches 2 Black or Israelite men after judge refuses to protect them. So think about that. The judge actually refused to do something about it. So I want to preface this with I know the latest incident in Chicago where the young lady was getting hit by the man, and her 14-year-old son unfortunately shot the man that was hitting on his mom. The older gentleman, he did die from the gunshot wounds, and they locked both the son and the mother up with a $3 million bond. Now, an update is those charges have since been dropped. She had a press conference on yesterday, and she is now suing the authorities due to the fact of how the media portrayed it and how it looked. But the judge gave them a $3 million bond. Think about Ralph Yarl, the young kid that was shot, I want to say in Kansas City, Missouri, about a month ago. Now, he lived. That's the story where he went to the home that he was picking up his brother, went to the wrong home. The older Caucasian gentleman shot him through the door in the head. He lived, but remember, they picked the man up after 2 days, questioned him, didn't let him go. Then like a week or two so later, they finally brought charges on him. It's funny how that happens. Once again, in the New York City subway, Jordan Neely was choked by former Marine Daniel Penny. He died, pronounced him dead at the hospital. Nothing happened to Daniel Penny. People started protesting, and you hear the outcry about it. They finally, after a couple weeks, picked up Daniel Penny. Now, thinking about that, now let's go back to 1911 and read this. Let's see where the foundation and where this stuff started from. It says, on June 27th, 1911, a Walton County mob of several hundred unmasked white men lynched 2 Israelite men named Tom Allen and Joe Watts, after a local white judge, Charles H. Brand, refused to allow state guardsmen to prevent mob action. Man, it says Judge Brand had been aware of the threat of mob violence for weeks. So he knew about it. He knew that this was going to happen. It says Mr. Allen, who had been accused of assaulting a white woman, had been in Atlanta for safekeeping because of the threat. In early June, Mr. Allen was brought to Monroe for trial with the protection of state troops from the governor. But Judge Brand resented the presence of troops, postponed the trial because of protection being offered, and sent Mr. Allen back to Atlanta. Wow. When Mr. Allen was ordered back to Monroe for trial on June 27th, Judge Brand refused an offer of protection from the state troops. Consequently, Mr. Allen was protected only by 2 officers on the train. Aware that Mr. Allen no longer had the protection of state troops, the white mob intercepted the train bound for Monroe and seized Mr. Allen from the 2 officers charged with protecting him. The mob tied Mr. Allen to a telegraph pole and shot him while the passengers of the train and hundreds in the mob looked on. The mob then proceeded to march 6 miles to the jail where another Israelite man named Joe Watts was being held. Some newspapers reported that Mr. Watts was an alleged accomplice. Some newspaper reported that Mr. Watts was an alleged, they didn't even really know, accomplice of Mr. Allen, while others noted that Mr. Watts had been arrested for having acted suspiciously outside of a white man's home, but had not been charged with a crime. The white mob stormed the jail without resistance from the jailers, removed Mr. Watts, and lynched him as well, hanging him from a tree and shooting him repeatedly. Both men had maintained they were innocent, and contemporary newspapers reported that there was no evidence against them. In most cases of racial terror, lynching throughout this era, the criminal legal system failed to intervene to use force to repel lynch mobs, even when the threat of lynching was evident and underway. Despite their legal responsibility to equally protect anyone in their custody, law enforcement and judicial officials were often found to be complicit in the seizure of lynchings of Black men, women, and children by abdicating their responsibility to prevent mob abductions. In this case, Judge Brand refused to allow for the protection of the state troops that had successfully transported and protected Mr. Allen from being lynched 3 weeks before, making it easier for the white mob to lynch these men. 3 months earlier, in Judge Brand's hometown of Lawrenceville in Gwinnett County, near Atlanta, it was about an hour, about 45 minutes from Atlanta, he had also refused the assistance of state troops to protect an Israelite man named Charles Hale, who left without the protection of those troops, was taken by a white mob and lynched. So there you have it. Charles H. Brand, on June 27th, which is yesterday, on this day, 1911, the judge actually refused troops and protecting an Israelite man, 2 Israelite men, and they both were hanged and shot by a white mob. Man. So once again, you think about the lady that shot A.J. Owens. They just reduced her charge. The judge actually reduced from a murder charge. Now, this A.J. Owens is no longer with us. The young lady, and then that lady has $150,000 bond, Laura Lyrens, that shot A.J. Owens. $150,000. The young lady that was getting beat on, that her 14-year-old son, which the media tried to portray that he was a gang member, he is an A honor roll student. He shot his mom out of protection. Her bond was $3 million. Of course, they dropped the charges, but still, she was protecting herself and has a permit, a license for conceal and carry. And she got a $3 million bond. Jordan Neely was killed. Daniel Penny walked around for days. They finally picked him up after we had an outrage. And they giving them this comfort. So these judges, what did Charles H. Brand, He made a choice not to protect those Israelite men. And they were both by white mobs, lynched and shot in front of people in broad daylight to make an example. So this story struck me because I said this stuff is still going on today. We just did, like I said, when I prefaced the critical race theory, this show, we did a couple shows back talking about that, talking about how clans was disguised in these judges' suits and these congressmen suits. So want to get y'all thoughts, what you think about that. It's kind of crazy. I think, did we get Sheer back? I don't know if he came back. There you go.
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, man. I think the crazy thing about it, Ayo, to me, matter of fact, I'm going to let our guest go first. Yeah. That's the tradition of the show. So yeah, I'm gonna let the guest go first, and then I come on in. Go ahead, Zion.
I think you're muted, bro.
Appreciate that, brother. Yeah. I would say, man, I guess the thing that helps me out now is knowing all the facts that you just told, and the craziness is still happening in 2023. Is now that we know why this is happening. We see a lot of people right now, they're still confused. They're still asking why they're doing this to us. Why is, the bond is $3 million and this person was able to walk away and come back next week and then get charged, right? I'm thankful that, because that can literally do something to you mentally.
Yes.
If you don't know who you are, you don't know that we're part of these curses, man.
That's right.
So I'm just, I'm thankful that I have that understanding. So when I hear things like that, it doesn't affect me like it used to years ago, when I used to get upset and angry and just, frustrated that this thing is continuing to happen. But the good thing is that, what all is said and done, that what helped me at night, knowing that ultimately the Father is allowing this to happen.
Yes. There you go.
Anything that happens, and sometimes we don't understand it. It is He who is doing it, and it is allowing it. And we got to be thankful, knowing that He's on our end.
Yeah.
Right. If something that happens where we don't understand is bad, or if it's something that's good, that hey, the charges drop. All praises, right? So that really helps me out, and I hope that can help somebody else that's listening to this right now as well. So that's what I got from it, brothers.
Awesome. That's good. Good stuff, man.
Yep, exactly. And he pretty much summed it up. He pretty much summed it up in a shell, because, I would tell you about the first 48 that I just seen not long ago. It was just a couple of nights ago, where a white guy and an Israelite guy committed the same crime. They both got convicted on the same murder, both of them. And the language in their charges was identical. Nothing different in the language in their charges. When it was all said and done, the white boy only got 8 years and the Israelite got 20.
20. That's crazy.
And the same, make that make sense. So it's like Zion said, we no longer have to try to make sense of this.
Right.
The Most High has made sense of it. Does that make it any better? Does that make the pill any easier to swallow? No, it don't. Right? But we understand now why.
That right.
We understand why. So So and what, just a couple of shows back, we did a show on these judges and politicians.
Yes.
In the white hoods.
Yes.
With the white sheets for uniforms. So, and it don't change, it has not changed. But we did get a win with the case with the 14-year-old boy and his mother.
And I do want to add, like I said, her charges were dropped. And like you guys are saying, the Most High is allowing this. And another caveat as why the Most High was allowing it, because we talk about all the time the support and overall Israel, even in the secular world. So Nicki Minaj is paying for the 14-year-old's full scholarship.
Wow.
She gave him the money for a full ride. So like you just said, Zion, the Most High, now we understand it. And me and Sheer talk about all the time. 7, 8, 20 years ago, we would have been frustrated at this stuff, mad, ready to go. Oh, but now we understand that the Most High is like, I'm allowing this. I'm gonna draw people. Keep lifting up Mashiach, and I'll draw all men unto me. Keep on doing it. So once again, Nicki Minaj is like, hey, I'm gonna step in and pay for your full ride. Continue to be a unrolled student, because I don't like the way the media portray, oh, he was in the gang and he's got ties. And it's like, no, this dude got straight A's.
Wow.
Ben had straight A's, never missed a day of school, all this stuff. So yeah, you guys are right. Thank you for those, and hopefully everybody will understand that. Like she said, that pill is hard to swallow, but it's the understanding where we are in the latter days and how to respond. And it's all spiritual. It's all spiritual.
Exactly. So yeah, Zion, we want to thank you again, brother, for being here with us, man. We know that you're not going to be able to stick around with us. We do have a great show lined up. For the ones that are here again, I want to apologize another week. I really am beginning to believe that this is something that is outside of my hands. When it comes to my internet, because it's starting to happen at the same time every night. If you notice, around the same time every Wednesday, this begins to happen. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to get frustrated, because my brother just said it's spiritual.
Yep.
My brother just said it is spiritual. That means that we got to be doing something. We got to be pissing somebody off. We got to be pissing somebody off, man. So, So with that being said, Zion, we thank you again, brother, for being here with us. We're going to go to our song break, and we're going to come back. We're going to get into these topics.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother.
Stop back in and see us again, Zion.
Will do. Shalom, brother. Shalom,
brother.
We know you're
Take us to the music break, Ayob, if you don't mind, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah. You gotta switch on mine. You gotta elevate the younger generations, so we can create a new hope. Mind, body, soul. I think it's time to let it go. If it ain't helping, let it go. Ain't got no time, we gotta grow. We should be focused on the growth. This generation got no hope. We gotta fill them up with hope. Too much to talk and gotta show. Melanated bodies dying in violence while carrying loads. Plant a new heart and let it grow. Plant a new mind and let it grow. So we can sow this what we reap. We using weapons, never use our mind. We love the world, we give it all our time. All women rather bad guys, the good ones never get to shine. It's time to clean our people, our creator next and now. It's crazy how we got the laws and still choose the flaws. The father in an open heart, just talking at the walls. Screaming, how can I help my people? Screaming, how can I change my people? What you sow, you reap.
We can help your soul. Put it in a sacrifice. Put it in a sacrifice. Cause I only wanna see you better. Know that you're here to treasure. Know that you're so special.
If it's unprofitable, then let it go. If you ain't got time for it, then let it go. If you can't feel it in your spirit, it be your soul.
I know.
Why put your energy into something that you know won't ever work?
Everybody wanna be somebody. Everybody wanna be somebody. Everybody wanna be somebody. Everybody wanna be somebody. Just be you, be you, be you. Just be you.
Yeah, I got it. You can't prevent my shine. Over the world I glide. Over the moon I rise. Deep in the sky I fly. Spirit of God ain't mine. We one and one like John. Seek him above all signs. Look in the mirror and mine. Bet you will see the most high. Deep in the chest he reside. Nah, 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 nah. I tell the truth, no lie. That mean I'm living in Christ. I won't deny you twice. Gave me the power of life. I put my worries on ice.
We can heal your soul. Put it in a sacrifice. Put it in a sacrifice. Cause I only wanna see you better. So that you're here to treasure. Knowing that you're so special. special.
Yeah,
All right.
Soul Fitting Tazarov, man, that was dope. I like that
Yeah,
vibe, man.
yeah.
I like that vibe, yo. I like that vibe.
Yeah, man. I want to thank your daughters for that soundtrack, man.
Yeah,
I think,
man.
matter of fact, I believe they provided the music for this
For the night,
episode.
for the whole show. That's
For
what
the whole show, everything
man.
except for the intro. So yeah, shout out to the house of Ben Yahoo.
Yeah, man. McCall and Mahalik, they playlist be deep. I'm talking about my playlist be 19, 20, 25. They be in the hundreds.
Well, we finna find out how deep it is, because
they be having music for days. But yeah, man, that was a nice vibe. Nice
right.
vibe.
What's our first topic, man? Can you go ahead and hit that ticker pulls down there, man, on the banners?
Man. So it looks like we got a crazy issue here. 4 children found in South Boston apartment, now in state custody as related death investigation continues. Woo.
Right.
Ooh,
I think we got a banner. Can you run it?
Yeah, the banner's running, and we got a little video. You want to go? Let's go to the video right quick.
Yeah.
4 children were allegedly found yelling for help. First responders were called to the building on Old Colony Avenue for a report of a man not breathing. Tonight, what they discovered has a city councilor demanding answers. Boston 25 News reporter Katie Brace is live in Southie tonight with the details. Katie?
Well, the city councilor says what was found in an apartment in that building has been described to her as a house of horrors with children inside. She is calling for the Boston Housing Authority to answer questions about how this happened in publicly funded housing. First responders were called to the Mary Ellen McCormick Housing Authority for a person not breathing. That's not all they found when they entered a top-floor apartment.
A lot of drug paraphernalia and sex toys all around. And then one of the firefighters said that they heard a cry for help, that there were 4 children in the back room, and I'm hearing that the adults in the apartment were not wanting first responders to go back when they heard kids crying out for help. So that's very disturbing to me.
According to the police report, the call came in shortly after 11 Saturday morning. Boston Fire and EMS arrived first, followed by police. They found an adult dead. Boston 25 source provided the fire department report, and it matches up with another source's information. According to the fire department report that I reviewed, firefighters found 6 adults who appeared to be males in the apartment with 4 kids in the back bedroom. One of the men tried to stop first responders from going into the room where they found the children, who are ages 5 to 10. The report says the adults were uncooperative and denied having children inside the apartment.
Still trying to piece it all together.
It is unclear the relationship between the 4 children and the adults. The fire and police departments both filed reports with the Department of Children and Families. Police officers cited the conditions of the home. The Department of Children and Families, in a statement to Boston 25, says it has taken custody of the children who live in the home. Neighbors knew the apartment and that something happened over the weekend, but didn't want to talk about it. Of charges in this case, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office says in a statement to Boston 25, we're aware of the incident and the investigation and will appropriately prosecute any arrests that result. At this moment, no charges have been issued.
At the end of the day, my biggest concern is what were the children exposed to and were they hurt in any way?
And there are still a lot of unanswered questions with this. The Boston Housing Authority says in a statement to Boston 25 that before this past weekend, there were no complaints involving that unit. They are now working with Boston Police. Councilor Murphy expects the Boston Housing Authority to appear before the council sometime this summer. Reporting live in South Boston, Katie Brace for your local station, Boston 25 News.
Man.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
That's very crazy, man. And I think the thing that gets me the most about this story, Ayob, is how little attention it has gotten.
That's it. That's it.
How little attention it has gotten. And you have got to ask yourself why.
Right.
You got to ask yourself, why has it gotten such little attention? You know, out of everything that's happening, you would think that a story like this would be everywhere.
Yep, but they are suppressing this for a reason.
What's your thoughts?
So, doing a little bit more digging, and shouts to my guy New Breed. He did a great video on this, man.
Right.
He's been doing some digging too. So everybody know that it's Pride Month, right? For the secular world. We use our rainbow. Our rainbow is our power's rainbow for the promise. We know what that promise is, but it is they've tried to hijack it and it means something totally different. So from what I understand, for what I have dug up and what New Breed has dug up, the reason that they are suppressing this, and they did not mention it in the newscast, they found some objects, if you know what I mean, and these men are pride people, the letter people. We ain't gonna, y'all could probably guess what I'm talking about. Because you see, once again, they always slip up. Because in the newscast, why would you, if you're suppressing it, why would you tell the people that the adults didn't want the firemen and the medics to know that the children were back there, but people heard the children screaming? You should have just left that out. Now, people like us, journalists and New Breed and my antennas like wait a minute, what's going on? So one of the adults, the 911 was called because they apparently died from a drug overdose, allegedly. And that's why the paramedics and 911 was called. So when they got there, they found toys, not children's toys, if y'all know what I mean. There you go. He said it. Sex toys.
Sex toys.
They found sexual toys that the men were using. So my question and my thoughts is, what were y'all doing with them children that y'all didn't want nobody to know they was in there, man? And I want to read something real quick, because this pride stuff is people is out here passing out, dying, and instead of y'all waking up and understanding, people out here passing out, just big pokey. You sent the story that I came across the other night. A young Israelite couple was getting married. Now, they wasn't in the truth, but 2 hours after they vows, they was taking pictures.
Dude,
he was dead, passed out, just like Big Pokey, unfortunately, passed out. So you would think these things happening in the land in the latter days would either wake them up and like, okay, we need to stop this stuff. But once again, Daniel 12:2, some will, in the dust of the earth, some will wake up to everlasting life, and some to everlasting contempt. So yeah, I want to read something real quick before you jump in. 2 Timothy 3, 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Excuse me. Now, this is what I thought about when I read the story. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. For such turn away. You hear pride all the time, wanting to debate people. Man, God made me like this, and yada yada, wada woo 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 woo. Hey, he's okay with me being like this. No, the Most High said, you lay down with one of your kind. That's an abomination. Not that I don't like it or hate it. You are an abomination. But they are heady of themselves. They think it's cool.
Right.
So yeah, those are my thoughts, Hawk. I know you want to jump in on that, because I seen that and sent it to you. We was both chatting like, wow, and like I said, my question is, why would they, and they still haven't established the relationships of the adults to the children. That's what's blowing my mind.
Well, there was a mother there, and I thought I sent that article to you as well. There was a mother of two of the children that was there. Okay, wow. The article is in the description of this show. Okay. Yeah. So we have we do have the article in the description of this show. It says the mother of two children removed from a South Boston apartment fire officials called unsanitary during a death investigation spoke with NBC 10 Boston Friday as authorities remain tight-lipped. This is what Ayob and I are getting at. Authorities are remaining tight-lipped about the specific details of this case. It says the incident happened Saturday at an apartment at the Old Colony Avenue. A report from responders with the Boston Fire Department says 6 adults who appeared to be males were in the apartment, which was in extreme unsanitary conditions. And the reports added that firefighters found 4 kids between the ages of 5 and 10. Okay? So look at the ages of these children. Between the ages of 5 and 10 in a back room, they was being hidden by another man. Okay? So these kids was in the back room being hidden by another man. And it says all of the adults were uncooperative. Now later in this same article, I'm not going to read too much more of this article, but it says that the adults in the apartment was fully cooperative. That's a contradictory within itself in the same article.
There you go.
You say earlier in the article that they was uncooperative. At the back end of the article, now all of the adults are cooperative. Now, they found drugs and sex toys in this particular apartment. Now, the mother of the 2 children said that these was transgenders, which were my friends.
Right.
Which were my friends that were in this apartment. So this goes back to what Ayob was saying as to the reason why they are suppressing this story is because this is Pride Month. These people are protected, people.
Yes, absolutely.
We can't let it out the bag. And I'm going to tell you, because of the protection that they are getting from the government, because of all of this exposure that they are getting and allowing them to come out and do and live as they please, they coming for your kids.
Coming for your kids. They've said it openly. They've openly, pridefully said, we coming for the children.
You see? And so we can't let the cat out the bag that this was a house full of transgenders in a house with kids, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you ever look at YouTube and the agenda of homosexuality, transgenders and stuff like that, just go to the comments. Normal people ain't cool with this stuff.
Right. Right. There you go. Just go to the comments.
Go to the comments.
Stop the video. Go to the comments. That's like that's where the war is.
That's where the war is at. So you seeing that this is being forced on us. Like, why is every other week Dwayne Wade and his son in the news?
Every week.
They're forcing this on us.
Yeah.
And so when something like this happened, I can guarantee you, if that was a house full of what we call normal adults, heterosexual adults, whether it's black or white, mainly if it was Israelites, oh man, that'd have been on every news station across America. They'd have heard about it in Africa.
They would have, man, they'd have been playing this in the news cycle back to back, everywhere. It'd be everywhere.
Back to back.
It'd be everywhere.
But because this is a house full of transgender men, right, and kids, what they're trying their best to do is to spin this story. They ain't even had no charges yet. I don't care, even if it's not misconduct with children, there should be some charges in that house. You got 6 adults, 4 kids, drugs, drug paraphernalia, sex toys. Some ain't right. Somebody got to go to jail.
And even on the basic foundational, they said it was a house of horror. They said it was unsanitary. So you know that house was filthy.
Exactly.
Even on that alone, that's why they got the children in state custody.
Exactly.
So, like you said, it was a mother there of one of the children. She no longer has her children there.
She don't deserve them. And this is the sad part though. They finna be turned over to the state, which is just as bad, if not worse.
It's almost like planning that so they can get those children.
You see?
Man, boy.
So this is where we at, people, and this is the thing, man. It's so crazy in the time that we live in. You know, some of those kids probably could have been adopted by these homosexuals. And this was the scripture that I wanted to read. Thank you, Most High, for bringing it back. Man, I got my Bible sitting right here in front of me, and I forgot all about it. This is Isaiah 12, starting at verse 11. Look, man, we live in strange times. I was talking to Safa just the other day, and Safa said something that made me snap. For the longest, I have been trying to describe America to people as to what America really is, and I've never been able to just get the words right for people to understand what I'm saying. Safa said, this is not the land of milk and honey, and when he said that, Ruach spoke. This is not the land of milk and honey. Hey, you know when Ezra said that the Most High has chosen a one of everything for himself? And one of the things that he chose was a land, Israel. That's his.
Right.
Remember in Isaiah 14 when Satan said, I will be like the Most High? Which means that everything that the Most High has, he try to make a counterfeit for.
Yep.
That's what America is.
Exactly. Come on, man. That's good stuff.
That's what America. This is a house of demons, man. They even made a whole TV show about it called American Gods.
Yep.
America is the complete opposite of Israel. Look, the Most High got children, the devil got children.
Genesis 3, seed of the woman.
The Most High got a promised land, the devil got a promised land.
Come on now.
And that's why everything that is being done in this land is being done to mock at the Most High. But this is what he's saying in the book of Isaiah, chapter 12, verse 11. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than golden wedge of an Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens. Listen to this, man. I told, hey, these people that's messing with our power, these people that's messing with the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, y'all better read this here, man. This dude say, I will shake the heavens and the earth shall remove out of her place. In the wrath of the Most High of hosts, and in the day of this fierce anger, and it shall be as a chase roe. And this is what he say. Then every man shall turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. He says their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives shall be ravished. Behold, I will stare the Medes. Do y'all watch world news? Y'all better look at what Iran is doing.
Yep.
Understand what Iran is doing right now. He say, I will stare the Medes against them which shall not regard silver. And not going to be able to be bought, people.
Not going to be able to be bought. You ain't gonna be able to do it.
Why is all of this going to happen? Because of stories like this.
America has become a habitation of devils. That's what it say. That's what the word say.
We're allowing transgenders to go to school and read to our kids. We having pride parades in all of these cities and allowing kids to go see this vile sexual activity. And we okay with it. And we protecting homosexuals that's harming the baby. The last I checked, Yasha said that anybody that do harm to the little children.
Anybody harm or offend these little ones, boy. Oh my goodness.
You'll be better off tying a meal around your neck and jumping off into the sea.
I tell you, when he touched down, that's I say it and say it today. They ain't gonna want to see Yasha. They ain't gonna want to see him. That's why they ain't gonna
want to see him.
May the rocks fall on us, because when he appear, you got to see him, man.
So I want to see in the chat while we go to the music break. A 1, give us a 1 if you have heard about this story in your local town, or 2 if you haven't heard about it. Because you even hard pressed to find information on this story on YouTube.
Yep.
You even hard pressed to find information on this story on YouTube. Let us know if you heard about this story, man.
Man,
you got anything else to say on that, Ayo?
I just, like you said, it's, I caught New Breed's his live that he did the other day. Other than him and other than us talking about it, like you said, even on YouTube, it's non-existent, because once again they don't want the and see, that's where in 2 Timothy 3 and what you just read, that haughty, prideful, high-minded, when you become prideful, you forget all the small details, all the nooks and crannies, all the T's that you cross, all the I's that you dotted all of your life. You get prideful and you start slipping on those things. And then you can't see the mistakes you're making.
That's right.
And that's what's happening to America. They don't even realize, because they're reprobate. They don't even understand. Right. They moved so far away that they don't even realize it. How the cold, how the love, and how it says iniquity shall abound. Abound means higher heights. That means iniquity is gonna go.
That's right.
You start to see stuff that you be like, man, 4 children in the house, they ain't want the children to be caught. Evidently they hiding something. That's crazy. And y'all not talking about this?
And the crazy thing is that the dead man was found in the same room as one of the child. So they say that he died of a drug overdose. You know what I'm saying? But we have absolutely no idea. And I don't want to go there, but you just got to be honest. Because look, man, when you're dealing with this particular spirit, they don't care that those are kids.
Right. They don't care.
They do not care that those are kids.
And now the state done snatched them kids up, and ain't no telling where them kids about to go.
Exactly. Exactly. God. So yeah, man. So that's that. The article is in the description as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and just get to our next song break, Ayo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Jacob's time now. Yeah. Rise. Get it. Yeah. I was at work when I wrote this. I got my mind on the kingdom. I gotta stay focused. We gotta give them the hope of Mashiach, cause I know they feeling so hopeless. Babylon about to pass away, so now I'ma give them they roses. The revelation won't be televised. You see the roar burning in my eyes. The word of Abba got me energized. Most of my people, they still hypnotized. I feel like Elijah, go and pick a side. 400 years we've been compromised. Telling the truth to get you out the lies. Like what the world, we won't let it slide. He won't let it slide, no. He won't let it slide no more. His people not done away with. No. New we was coming back to him like a yo-yo. We Isreal on the inside and out, so let your soul glow. Rise up, Israel, get your eyes up. You gotta be chosen for this walk, you just can't sign up. Oppressors better own up, cause we knowin' that they time's up. This isn't a phase, only my Abba can make my mind up. Take us time, yeah, take us time, yeah, take us time. Renew your mind, yeah, renew your mind. Was on the road when I wrote this. I'm on the road to the kingdom. I'm praying the lane will stay open. 2 hands on the wheel, hey. In the most high I be hoping. Yes, I rely on his wisdom. So I'm casting my burdens, I'm open. It's almost that time we gotta get through. I see how your time, he trying to recruit. Step on the beast, his head I will bruise. Time to put cleats on all of my shoes. Trying to go deep just like a masseuse. I got the keys, I read it in loot. Christ is inside when you in the truth. Kill my desire, cause these are the fruits. He giving me drive, my body's a coupe. Yeah, we on the rise and we cannot lose. Yell and repent, cause that's why I'm sent. We close to the end, what side would you choose? Dawn in my flesh like I got a rose in my hand. How can I fall off? He got my soul in his hands. I leave it behind, I'm so beyond the storm, riches in heaven, I'm monetized. Enemy plot, I got a weapon, cause the Bible I'm reading is my device. I roll with a mob who live in heaven, you don't want it with squad, ain't nothing nice. His wisdom divine, it's so ironic that I took out 11 and now I rise. Yeah. It's Jacob's time now. Yeah. Rise. Get it. Yeah. It's Jacob's time now. Yeah. It's our time.
Yeah, man.
Praises. So in August, pronounce that name for me, Ayo.
Karagma. Yeah, man.
I'm supposed to be practicing that. You know why I'm practicing that? You know why I'm practicing to say that?
Why is that?
Because in August, we're trying to work it out that they can join us on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be.
We're trying to get them here in August. So I got to know how to say the name. Say it one more again.
Karagma.
See, I can't be on the show talking about Karamagma, and you know what? I got to be able, you know what I'm saying? So I'm practicing this here. Okay?
Practice. We saying talking about practice.
Exactly. So when they come in August, I'll be able to pronounce it properly, right?
Yeah,
so their movie release will be around that same time.
Around that same time. We get the Z Benjamin and his partner, man, they got that movie coming out, Karagma. I've been seeing the small trailers they've been releasing from the past year. Sister Delta be heavily promoting the movie. And it's finally, they got it into production, finished it. And you just heard them on the song. So they got heavy bars and very gifted. So I can't wait to get them on the show and talk about this release because I've been waiting for about a year. Everybody been waiting.
All praises, man. All praises. So if you have not done it yet as well, this would be a great time for you to smash that like.
Smash that like. And we got house rules is to smash the like, hit the notification bell, and guess what? It is free.
It is free. That brother said house rules. That's a brother that plays spades right there. He plays some kind of. That brother said house rules.
Sunday, when you see me on the grill, you best believe spades went down in the kitchen.
That's the brother that plays spades right there.
House rules. House rules.
House rules.
Yeah, y'all. Don't forget the 2 questions, 2 tickets for the July 30th event. Real quick before we move forward. The number one question, the first question was, Shira, the first artist that Ayo Ben Yahoo, interviewed on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast extra. Who was the first artist, if you can remember, put it in the chat or go back and look, who was the first artist that I interviewed on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast extra? And also the second question, last week, what was the second song break for last week's episode?
Thanks.
2 people to get those questions right. You win tickets to the July 30th event of the summer Fringed Up Family Fest in Atlanta, Georgia. 10 acres of beautiful private land. So we on private land. We ain't got to worry about nobody coming out there doing nothing. I'll be performing Roll With The Chef, Lorvins, J. Lodge, Park Q, Paisley the Hebrew, they just added Monologue, my guy, King 7, man.
It's going down, people.
Beyonce Houses, Truth Be Told Flex podcast will be in the building interviewing. Listen, you can win tickets tonight. Get those 2 questions right. Yeah.
It's going down. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you for that. And what we got? TikTok talk?
TikTok talk. We got. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's go.
That Vladimir Putin, the Russian's president, he's passed a law that any Russian who grows or sells genetically modified foods is to be considered a terrorist. Whew. He's even giving land away to Russians who will grow food organically, non-GMO. You put his name and GMO in Google that, and you'll read the spiel. He says, we Russians look across at the West, over-vaccinated, over-medicated, overfed, sitting in front of boxes every night in their lounge rooms, eating food that has no nutrients, he said, and we know is weakening the West. Is he right? Absolutely right. Yeah. Unfortunately, Monsanto is so powerful and so wealthy and so big, they win every court case where Australians want GMO to be labelled on the products. Happens in America too. It's unfortunate. So how do you know? Well, you don't, unless you buy organic. You see, if an organic farmer uses genetically modified seed, they lose their organic status. So grow as much as you can yourself. And the more Aussies that buy organic, the more organic will be available. One organic tomato will give you 9 times the iron of a conventionally grown tomato. Did you know that Vladimir Putin, the Russian's president...
Wow. DJ Vladimir.
Yeah, man.
What you think about that? Good.
So I came across that one, man, and I said to myself, and it went along with what I was explaining about this being the promised land of Satan. See, you look at China, and this was a question I asked probably about a year or so ago. I was like, what is an American? And all of this is going to tie into this TikTok talk. I said, what is an American? Like, look at you and I, Ayo, right? We're Israelites, right? Or what they call black. Then you got white folks, right? Then they'll let folks come over here. You got, Mexicans, and you got Asians. And we'll all stand together and we be like, we're Americans. Really? Look at China. They all pretty much look alike. Chinese folks don't look like Japanese folks. See, that's a nation.
Right.
Nation.
Right.
Japanese folks don't look like Filipinos. You can tell Filipinos from Chinese and Japanese from Filipinos, Filipinos from Chinese, and it go on and on. You see what I'm saying? But America, what is an American? What is our culture? We don't have one. So it's easy. All of this I'm saying is easy, not to have what we would call a loyalty to the people. The land over here is dead. So even if you wanted to grow organic, you can't because of fracking. There is no more nutrients pretty much in the land. It bothers me. I want to go get a watermelon and you telling me you got 2 tubs of watermelons and they seedless. I got to wait 2 weeks out of every month that I can get grapes that got seeds in it. See? Now, back to the TikTok talk. She said that we watch them over there in the West, over-medicated, over-vaccinated, eating foods that's not real, sitting in front of boxes. But this was the word that she used. It's weakening them. Our government is doing it on purpose.
Yep. They want to weaken it. They want you to be
purpose. And while they're weakening us, these other nations are getting stronger. Yeah. The only people think that this place here is the greatest of all places is our retarded butts, man. Them other nations, man, no. Ain't nobody scared of us.
No.
We the only people still walking around here talking about American pride.
That's it. Right.
That brother said that you would be labeled a terrorist
if you were found GMO-ing fruits and vegetables.
And one more thing, and then I want to hear what you got on it. There are so many foods that the FDA approved that are banned in other nations, man.
Yeah, that is true. That is facts. Yeah. Just so, I mean, couldn't be any more correct. I'll just add that, if you see in the news here in the past couple of months, they want to arrest Putin and for war crimes and this and that. Anytime they saying that, you best believe you peel the onion layers back from why they want to. It's a whole different reason why they want to. And what you just watched and what she just said is just part of why they want to arrest him.
Right.
They said if he stepped foot in Africa, we coming to get you. Julia Belema said, "No, you were not coming to do nothing. You were not going to touch him. If you step foot over here, you're going to meet the consequences." That's what he said. So I just truly believe that the Most High got the Ruach on Putin. The Most High can use anybody he wants to fulfill these prophecies.
That's right.
And people serve their purpose, and this is Putin's purpose.
This is Putin's purpose. Exactly.
He is exposing. They on the phone right now. Them folks on the phone right now. These jokers is finding out who they are. Putin talking too much. They waking up. They knowing the Bible is their culture. What are we gonna do? They're getting think tanks together to find out how to get us. So we got to stay vigilant. And right now, guess what? Hey, our practical thing, the House of Ayo, the Butler tribe. Hey, we're trying. We got cucumbers, lettuce, some other things growing, cilantro. We got to try. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
You got to at least try. I mean, because the FDA I think I sent you the article. They just approved the daggum
lab meat chicken.
Bruh,
listen. We leveling up over here for real. Like, I always done ate chicken all my life, but now, listen, man, y'all better. We got to be careful out here, man.
We got to be careful out here, man. And that's not even just with the meats.
Right.
That's even with the fruits and the vegetables as well. That's with everything, man.
Yeah. Broccoli,
that's with everything. I mean, because you got to think in the last 10 years, why do you think homosexuality is just the numbers done increase so?
Man,
I firmly believe it's chemicals in the foods.
Right. And once again, to add to line back off what you're saying, guys, listen, if you are not sealed with the Most High's name in your forehead, it's going to overtake you.
It's going to overtake you.
It's spiritual. You can't fleshly fight the war. And that's what they're trying to do. And then here's the double whammy. Like I said before, they so far removed, they don't realize that they're losing. You throw a frog in cold water, he going to jump right out. You throw him in hot water, he'll jump out. But if you put a frog in lukewarm water, he gonna
be good. And you cook him slow,
him around and turn that burner up slow. He don't realize he's being cooked till it's too late. He too weak to jump out. So that's where we are. That's all I have to say on that, man. But kudos to Vladimir Putin. We may not agree with everything he do or said, but I believe the Most High got the Ruach on him, and this whole thing, the TikTok talk, great TikTok talk. That's kudos for that. Like,
facts.
That's facts, man.
Facts. All right, then, man. We got our last music break.
Yeah, we do.
Our last topic. It's gonna be a woozy.
Yeah, man.
This last topic is gonna be a woozy, and I'm sure this probably gonna touch quite a few people as well. So let's go ahead and get that last song break. Let's get to that topic, Ayo.
Yeah.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah. Peace and blessings in the Adon. Yahusha. Hamashiach. Hallelujah. I'm looking to the sky for the new moon. Another appointed time that I get to meet you and celebrate life with the bridegroom. I'm dancing like David, got on my new shoes. I'm stepping in shalom with the good news. Yeah, I'm stepping in shalom with the first fruit. Taught me about how to trust you. Now I'm moving to the rhythm of your heartbeat. You laid it down for me. You gave me new life when you laid it down. Took it back up for me. By the blood of the Lamb, now I complete. Cause you gave me victory. I call on your name and I'll be saved. It's just the faith in me of your authority, your majesty. You gave me expectation. You said in me a praise that cannot be quenched. Like fire shot up in my bones. So amazing. You told me just endure to the very end. Say come, come on, I don't falsehood and a lying word far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me my love for bread.
Put it off me, the filthy, filthy. Coming at the righteous, yes, but on me. Now I'm rocking with the Prince of Pieces, my friend. Give me spirit to the mighty, mighty, mighty. Check out my walk,
check out my step.
Yo, who is esteemed to perfection? You gave me your seal, your ruach, a promise, and made me your royalty. Now check out my walk,
check out my step.
Yo, who is esteemed to perfection? I'm bearing the fruit, you prune and restore to serve you as a masterpiece.
Your Majesty,
you gave me expectation.
So loud.
You said in me a praise that cannot be quenched. Like fire shut up in my bones.
So amazing.
You told me just endure to the very end. Say come, I say come, come on, I don't take. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't understand. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't take. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't understand. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't take. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't understand. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't take. The Spirit say come, I say come, come on, I don't understand.
Yeah, I like that. That was Stefan the Preacher with Expectation. Like
I could, the name wasn't on there, so I couldn't put the name of the artist on there. Yeah.
My daughter just told me, she's like, that's Stefan the Preacher. Okay, you got it.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Ilya Isreal mentioned Wonderland as well.
Wonderland, man.
Highly anticipated.
July 30th, y'all. July 30th, on the same day as the event. The wait is over. You'll hear tracks with me and Jay Lutch, me and Obadiah Yahoo, Miss Cameron Joy from the Open Writers, Cold Rain and Monologue. My God, I even got Shanaim gonna be on the track. Yo,
that's what's up.
I'm excited, man. The Most High is doing great things. So yeah, July 30th.
We cannot wait. We might have to do a listening party, man.
Yeah,
over
that's
here,
what I
man.
want to do. That's what I want to do, man. We'll do a listening party and just invite everybody. Y'all come listen. We'll just go through. I'll let Sheer pick his favorite tracks, and we'll just go through.
Sound dope. Sound dope to me.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get on to this next story, man. All of us at some point in our life have been affected by AIDS. I'm sure that the majority of us have known someone who have possibly died from AIDS. And if you're old as I am and Ayo, we remember the transition, like when this thing began to start having wheels and the fear that people had, how the media talked about it. AIDS was the boogeyman.
Yes.
It was causing problems even in the world of sports. Magic Johnson contracted it, but they allowed him to play, and Charles Barkley was very vocal about that, right? And which forced him to go into retirement, where they needed a face like they need a face for everything else. Their agenda has not changed. I don't believe that Magic Johnson had HIV or AIDS no more than I believe that Neil Armstrong touched ground on the moon.
Right. Neither one of them happened.
But they needed a face. They needed somebody to push the agenda, and Magic was like, "I'll be your Huckleberry. I'm that baby pappy." That was Magic, right?
Yeah.
And so, this AIDS thing, man, we always talking about fear. This was a scary, scary time in life, man, because you just did not know. You didn't, and it just came out of nowhere. And what made it so believable, even more than what we went on in 20, is that we were seeing people dying. And they were shriveling up dying.
Yep.
We were seeing it.
Yeah.
And I wish that I had like a panel here with us right now, because I would definitely ask this question, Ayo. But I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you the question.
Mm-hmm.
What is HIV? Can HIV even be explained, Ayo? If somebody was to just walk up and ask you, what is HIV?
Yeah.
How would you answer that question?
My answer would be, for me, not knowing a whole bunch about it, but just hearing so many different things. If somebody came up to me like, man, what is HIV? I would say it's complicated and it could be a lot of things. It says that it's something with your immune system breaking down, but is it really? Like, was man-made to do something to the immune system so that we can get put on a whole bunch of drugs that basically kill us slowly? Like, and that would be my answer, because it's like, I know a handful of people that may, less than 4 that may have passed away from it, or it was alleged that that's what they passed away from. You have to say that, because once again, I know there was a story about a young lady that their parents took her off her medicine, and she's still alive to this day. I forget the young lady name, but it was in the video you sent me. So my answer would be HIV. What is it? It's supposedly or allegedly an immune deficiency virus that is very super complicated. That would be my answer, because it's so much to it. T helper cells and this and that, and the blood count and white blood cells and red blood cells, they duplicate, but the medicine make them duplicate faster with destroy. Like, it's so much. It's so much, man. So much.
Right. It's so much, man, and the confusion is what they want.
Right.
Because the more confused you are, the easier you are to deceive.
Right.
And with something like AIDS, and the way that they say that it was, that it could be contracted, you know what I'm saying? And now watch this. We always say that something to start with other people, but before it's all over with, it become our problem. And that was the same thing it was with AIDS. AIDS was a homosexual disease. Yeah. That's what it was. It was a homosexual disease. Man, I'm going to tell you, Ronald Reagan, you know what Ronald Reagan said? Don't nobody care about them faggots dying.
That's what he said.
Those was his words.
That's what he said.
That's what Ronald Reagan said. And the reason I brought that up is because, and I brought this to Ayob, I brought this up to Ayob. This goes to show you how hypocritical this place is. Yeah. The same place right now embracing these homosexuals and transgenders and all of this and loving on them and stuff is the same government just a few years ago, less than 40 years ago, ostracized them.
That's it.
Same people. Now all of a sudden we bringing you in and we including you and we protecting you. Why? Because of the agenda. They ain't had no heart to change. They the same people.
Right.
But the agenda fits, right? And so Kennedy, which Kennedy is it? Is it
Robert F. Kennedy.
Robert F. Kennedy.
Which is he was the baby brother of John F. Kennedy?
Of John, yes, exactly. That's exactly who was he, the baby brother or the nephew? I thought he was.
Oh, the nephew. I'm sorry.
He's the nephew, right. He's the nephew of John F. Kennedy.
The older brother of John F. Kennedy. Son.
Right.
Senator Kennedy passed away a few years back. He was a senator for a long time.
Exactly. Right. This is who this cat is. And this dude here, he's very anti-vax and very vocal about it, right? And the article is also in the description. What else is in the description is the video that is called House of Numbers. And if you don't do anything else, please click the link on House of Numbers and watch that video. I had a hard time trying to find videos for this show because there are so many nuggets in that video. Matter of fact, I don't know if Ayo went in and looked before I finalized. I probably had about 5 videos lined up and I took them all out and just left 2. So there's no way we'll be able to get to all of these videos, right? So I got video clips lined up and I'm gonna do something with these videos. And I've been sitting on House of Numbers for over a year, not knowing what to do with it, right? So the article, in this article, we're gonna talk a little bit about this article, and we're really gonna get into HIV and AIDS. This is what we're gonna get into. Poppers, which was a drug that was sold everywhere. In the gay community. It was in gay bars, it was in adult stores and stuff, and it was very toxic. And they would take it and they called it poppers because I think they said you take the top off of it and it will pop and they would inhale it, right? And what they was inhaling, and they had on a package harmful and do not ingest, right? Can cause death. That's what they had on there. But they was doing it and it was giving them such a rush. Well, they used it so much, what it was doing, it was killing their lungs. It was giving them pulmonary diseases. And with the disease that it was giving them, it was also causing them to have really, really bad lesions on their bodies. They began to start losing weight. They began to start dying. Do any of these symptoms sound familiar? So what they did was, so the homosexuals that was using poppers, instead of them diagnosing them with this, I can't pronounce the name of that disease, right? It was an actual disease, but instead of them diagnosing them with that disease, they were saying they had AIDS. And this is how the CDC blew the story of AIDS up all across the world and began to scare people. You don't have to believe me for it. For what I'm telling you, click the link. House of Numbers is in there. Ayob, if you would, brother, go ahead and run that first video clip that we got.
Yes, sir. You got it. Let's get it.
I have the package insert from the manufacturer which they supplied me with. And under limitations of the test, it states that risk factors should be used in conjunction with the test. Has a person had sex? Have they used drugs? Have they had a blood transfusion? And then in conjunction with the test, not the test alone, but with the test, then you decide whether the person is positive or negative. Do the answers to these questions help aid in the diagnosis?
Of course they did.
Really?
They do.
Now, if I tell you that the test you took was lousy and didn't mean a thing, does that make any difference for everybody to hear?
It'd make a difference for me.
Yeah, I know.
How can we say that HIV is the cause of AIDS when we don't know, based on current tests, whether or not anybody diagnosed positive actually has HIV?
Ooh. Now, I really, really hope that video sunk in on people. Risk factors was a part of the diagnosis along with the test. Risk factors. So I'm gonna give you this test. Whatever the test say, okay, that's fine. But risk factors is going to help determine if you got AIDS or not.
Yes.
Have you had unprotected sex?
Right.
Are you homosexual? Are you a drug user? So you answer all 3 to that. The test say negative, but you say yes to that. You got AIDS. Now understand that this is a piece of paper now they filling out, right? So you don't know what's going on in their mind while they asking you these questions and what this test here in their hands say. So when they check it, and you get the news, all you looking at is that you either HIV positive or you got AIDS, one of the two, right? Because of the risk factors. Not what the test generally says, the risk factors.
Right.
I'm gonna shut up, Ayo, because I promise you I can go off and go on, man.
Go ahead, man. The audience is loving it, man. You got that heat. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm learning something. Did we lose him?
No, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead,
this,
brother. Go ahead.
I have been sitting on this for a long time, and this has been bothering me for a long time when it comes to this, man. And then here come 2019 with and once again, guess what? They testing, right? The same type of test that they was using to see if you had this particular virus that they claim was the same thing that they was using back then. And it never was even proven that it's a real test. Yeah. The lady asked the question, how can we say that HIV causes AIDS when we don't even know if HIV exists?
She just said it. There, you seen the video.
So what has happened to our people that we believe have died from AIDS? What happened to them? There was a drug that was called AZT, people. Now you got to put if you are as old as Ayob and myself, you got to put yourself in this particular era when AIDS was like on a high. This was scary. AIDS during there started making people want to be virgins again. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was destroying relationships between people. You didn't even want to rub elbows with people. You didn't even want to be in the same vicinity as people because it was so many different stories as how you can get it. You can get it by touching inanimate objects or all kinds of things.
Drinking after somebody and the whole man, they had through that late 80s, early 90s, and through the 90s, boy, they had you. You didn't want to go to a skating rink, swimming pool, basketball.
Nothing.
You didn't want to do none of that.
You didn't want to do nothing.
I remember in middle school, in sixth grade, elementary. I remember.
Now, use your imagination, and you go to the doctor, and they tell you, and they get, well, hold up, before I go there, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, right? They got this daggone pill that they know that's gonna kill you. That's gonna give you a slow death. They know that it's gonna give you a slow death. And homosexuals, they was setting y'all up. The same government that y'all running to right now is the same government that started off killing y'all so that they can work their way around to killing us Israelites.
Facts.
We was always the agenda. They just needed y'all to jumpstart it.
Right.
Y'all jump started it for them to get to us, and they finally got to us, and they killed many of them. Africa right now is still suffering from this foolishness.
Yep.
Right now. So they got this pill that they know is going to kill you, and they know that you are so terrified of getting this. They say, hey, now you go to the doctor, and he say, hey, you HIV positive. That's a death sentence. So what do I got to do now? Take this to CVS, and that's what you get on. Look up the drug AZT. Look it up. It's on the black market. I mean, a black box. It's a black box pill. My bad, not black market. It's a black box pill, which means that it's known to kill you. And our people start taking it, and they thinking they got HIV, which was not proven. And AIDS is real, by the way, okay? Because they giving folks AIDS right now. All AIDS is the acquired immune deficiency, which means your immune system don't work. That's what AIDS is. AIDS is real. HIV ain't to be proven though.
Right.
So they kill your immune system, and if you ain't got no immune system, what you think gonna happen to you? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Some viruses is gonna take you out.
That's why they always said, Ayob, that AIDS is not what kill you. It's the disease or the flu. You could die from the flu, or you could die from the common cold.
Yeah, because your immune system is not equipped. Your immune system say, "Oh, we got a cold or virus. Well, we can't fight back." The immune system can't fight. Because that's when you get into your cells, your cell replication, and we're not doctors, y'all, so we can't, diagnose nobody or whatever. But with common sense and things you studied, the little bit I do know about it is your cells can't replicate enough. The white blood cells, red blood cells, they can't function and do their job to keep your immune system intact to fight off, like she'll say, even the smallest cold, even the most common cold. So
I got one more video, don't I?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
There's a drug called amyl nitrate that was developed in the 1850s and 60s. Came in ampules, and they became known as poppers because you'd pop them when you open these ampules up to sniff them when you had coronary artery disease. The first AIDS cases, for example, that Mike Gottlieb reported were all 5 gay men. They were young. They all used poppers.
Poppers, something you walk around huffing all night. I mean, it says flammable, fatal if swallowed on the side of the bottle. They're walking around huffing it all night long. Why? Gives you a great rush.
Pneumocystis pneumonia and Kaposi sarcoma were the hallmark diseases for AIDS in the early years.
To go back and deconstruct it and say, what exactly did cause pneumocystis carinea?
I remember the first patient that I ever saw, my resident brought me to see a young gay man with pneumocystis pneumonia. I knew a little bit about the use of poppers or amyl nitrite inhalants, and I started asking the patient if he used them, and it turned out that he was a very heavy user of amyl nitrites, and much to the surprise of my students, I said, I think the man probably has destroyed his pulmonary immune system by inhaling this toxin.
What exactly caused Kaposi sarcoma? We know that now. It was amyl nitrite.
Wow. And I think that was the word you was pneumocystis.
Pneumocystis. Hey, pneumonia. I want the camera to see. I'll see if the camera show how I spelled it so I can pronounce it. Let me see. Let me see. You see how I spelled that? That's NUMOSISTUS. Pneumocystis.
Where you broke it down like you, hey,
and I put it in a line.
Boy,
pneumocystis.
You crazy for that, bro. But hey, bro, trust me, I get it. We think alike.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. You broke it down, pneumocystis. Oh my gosh, man.
Exactly. I had to break it down. But did you see what those poppers did to those people though, man?
Yeah. And it's crazy that they actually put that on the bottle that's telling you don't swallow it.
Right.
Don't ingest it, but just inhale it. And it's a toxin that you're putting, like, what in the world?
Now, how did these bottles, and this is where you got to start asking questions, like I'm always asking questions. How did these bottles end up in gay bars?
Right, like who
in
put them
adults? There? You see what I'm saying? Who put them there?
Who put them there? Who
told them to start using it?
Right, like that's just. Boy.
See, this is something that a lot of people don't know about the CDC. They are only in business because of infectious diseases. Mm-hmm. If there are no infectious diseases, then they don't have a job. Right. So at this particular time, there was no infectious diseases happening, and they were about to lose their job. I forget what president was in office at this particular time. I don't know if it was Reagan or Daddy Bush.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It was it might have been Daddy Bush.
Yeah, it was one of them. But they had cut the CDC funds.
Right.
They were on their way of not having a CDC, which would have been greater for the world if it had been disbanded, right?
Right.
These jokers would have post-it notes on the wall saying we gotta find an infectious disease.
Right.
And here come
Poppers.
AIDS. Poppers.
Yep.
AIDS, HIV, right? Here it is.
Now, my wife, with her, she has a nursing background. She says pneumocystis pneumonia is one of the very first diagnoses they gave over 80% of HIV patients, Doc. That's 8 out of 10.
That's 8 out of 10.
That's
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah. Let me see. I think it was another comment. I can't find it, but yeah, that's 8 out of 10. That's crazy that like you said, it was an experiment.
That's what it was.
It was an experiment. Let's see how many people we can make sick with this, and see if we can start giving this medicine to. And then it just blew up. Now the CDC was back. Now they we got a virus that we can now. And you just heard, man, they had everybody scared. Like you said, hey, it came from monkeys out of South Africa and the jungles and the Congo, and it came from this and that. And there you have it. These rumors just caught, and it just started spreading like wildfire.
And you see how it ended up in our community, how it went from being a homosexual drug, because the very first name of it was called GRID, which was gay-related immune deficiency syndrome. GRID. That's what they called it before it was AIDS. Gay-related immune deficiency syndrome. But it went from them to us. Because if you remember in the 90s, dude, just about everybody that had AIDS or diagnosed with AIDS was black. A matter of fact, Atlanta was one of the highest Atlanta and Washington, D.C. was two of the highest AIDS counts in the whole country.
In the whole country.
They call Washington, D.C. Chocolate City. They don't call it Chocolate City because Hershey there.
Right.
And we know how Atlanta is made up.
Man, boy.
The agenda was always for it to get to us.
Yep. Always. Absolutely right.
Why you think the numbers are so high in Africa? Who you think visited Africa with needles? Bill and Melinda?
Jabbing everybody.
Everybody.
If you breathed and moved, guess what? You were getting jabbed. Didn't matter.
And they still dying from it over there. And so the young lady that Ayo was talking about, I know we're going to have to move on, but the young lady that Ayo was talking about is also in the video. A couple adopted her as a baby from one of those European countries over there. Before leaving, she had to get an HIV test. She passed. Got to America, they had to give her another one. She failed. They put on AZT. AZT was killing the girl. The parents took her off the AZT, not because they didn't think that, that it was actually killing her. They just knew that it was not helping her. So they took her off the AZT pills. Girl, everything about the girl just started changing dramatically. The girl is still alive to this day.
Still alive.
There's another young lady that's in that same video, got diagnosed with HIV, gave her and she was fine when they diagnosed her with it. You know what I'm saying? She healthy and everything, just got HIV, started taking the medication. She was dead, I think, within 2 years.
Yep, a couple years. They know that those drugs kill slowly, man.
That's right.
And it depends on the person how they fight. Once your immune system go or starts to really deteriorate, it's up to the person how they fight.
Wow.
And normally it's within 3 years or less. They call poppers liquid incense or tape cleaning now. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
That stuff is still, but like, you know, Ilya commented earlier that the world is given to the hands of the wicked. They're going to do wicked things. That's what they do. And and like Shir said earlier, our promised lands with milk and flowing with milk and honey, flowing with the word, war no more. But in here, they try to mock. Hasatan tries to mock his kingdom. They give you, what did we all hear when we was little? You could be anything you want to be in America. Be anything. You could do anything.
That's
They
right.
still say that.
They still say that.
And
the American
dream. The American dream. It's a mockery of the Most High's kingdom. Where we gonna be?
That's why the Bible say that this place gonna burn.
It's gonna burn. It's a habitation of devils.
It's a habitation of devils.
Habitation of
it
devils,
is.
man.
It is.
Yeah. There is. My wife mentioned it earlier. There is. I didn't mean to cut you off, but there is a different world episode that they touch on this. I remember watching it when I was in middle school, man. When Dwayne Wayne and Freddie and they all touched on it, and it's a deep episode, man. So if y'all get a chance, go watch that.
They actually touch on what? HIV, AIDS?
AIDS, yeah.
Is that right?
Think, if I can remember correctly, I don't know if I can't remember if one of them did have intercourse with somebody that supposedly had AIDS, and they got around through the campus, and they all had to, help out and find out what was going on. But yeah, there is an episode of A Different World. You can probably Google it and find it. And I know Different World is free if you have Max, formerly HBO Max.
Right.
That episode is on there. So
okay, then cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So check out that House of Numbers as well. That's in the description. Please sit down and watch it with your family. If you want to know how evil these people are, how wicked these people are, you will see it there. And the thing about it is that they telling on each other, man. You remember in Jasher, man? Let me tell you how Esau worked. I forgot who they were fighting. It was a war that they was fighting. And Esau started losing, and this joker jumped off stopped fighting with the people that he was fighting with and went over and started fighting with the people that they was fighting against because they was losing. You remember that story, man? That's Esau. That's Esau. It's in the book of Jasher. I'm gonna find that if I don't forget. I'm gonna find that and I'm gonna bring that out, man. That's what Esau do.
Yeah, man.
They telling on each other in this House of Numbers. Oh, there's also a name. I'm finna drop a name in House of Numbers.
I was about to say it.
Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, y'all. He was young. I was like, man, this dude young.
Dr.
He was at
Fauci.
the forefront of it, just like he was with the COVID-19.
That's right.
He was at the forefront of this whole movement, y'all.
This dude has been a murderer for years.
And they select these doctors. They groom these doctors from the age of 12. Oh, you want to be a doctor? Okay, well, I'm going to meet you. You're going to meet so-and-so. And then that person turn on that senator. And then that governor and senator start grooming.
That's right.
And then once they get 25, young and up and coming, they put them on a press conference beside the governor and the president.
Right.
So who not going to like them?
That's right.
Everybody on that side with this liberal, Democrat, conservative, they like him. And that's how he rose up in the ranks.
Right.
And then the pandemic of 2019, here he go again. And now he's so-called retired. Right off into the sunset with a great pension. Come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. You can't write this.
They do that. They don't just do that with doctors and politicians and stuff. They do that with all of them. Just like that girl, that Israelite sister that signed that did the poetry at the inauguration.
Oh yeah.
A few years.
Yeah.
People, they grooming that girl.
Man, yes.
They grooming that girl.
5 to 7 years.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what they do. They go away after that moment. They'll fade back, go to Columbia University.
That's
then
right.
Go to New York University for
that's right.
The graduate. Then the doctorate at so-and-so university. Then the next thing you know, they helping some politician run for mayor. And then they start out small. And then you be like, wait a minute, she look familiar. Ain't that the girl that won the spelling bee?
That's what happened with Obama. Go back and look at Obama's track record.
Bro, that's exactly what happened.
That's what happened with Obama.
People didn't know who he was until he won that Iowa caucus and beat Hillary
Clinton. That's right. And they gave him Michael for a handler.
Yeah. You not Michelle, but Michael, boy. Hey, don't,
Let's get
don't
that
River
bicep.
told it this year. All right, let's get the body. Yeah, we'll be here all day on that one. That's a whole other topic for another day. Let's get it, bro.
So I realized there's really nothing positive about the internet, unless you got something you want to see that's positive. But if you're just waking up on the internet, just strolling through the internet, you're not gonna find nothing positive. You have to know what you're looking for. Most of us just getting on there just to be on there, to buy time because we're bored, or just to see what's going on. Guy like me gets on there, and there's nothing positive that's gonna come off the internet to me. I don't give a damn if you're a celebrity. If you got a big platform and you press that go live button, you got your fans, but for the most part, you got motherfuckers to come troll your ass.
Boy.
Buy, sell.
Bye. I buy it.
Thanks.
Bye all day. And that's my man Charleston White. Yeah. And see, that's another thing, man, that we was talking about. Me and you always chop it up about how our people, for some reason, we are just accustomed to drama.
Right.
And
right.
nasty. Man, I seen, and he's so right. I be on YouTube. Y'all know we do the Flex Truth Be Told Flex podcast. Right now, every Wednesday, we do the Truth Be Told Flex podcast extra, where Sheer does a great job of keeping y'all in touch with the news that happened that you don't see on the news. And he does that because if you scrolling down YouTube, like Charles White was saying, it's hard to find that type of stuff that's actually giving you what the mainstream media. Most of this stuff, y'all, is drama, garbage. And man, I was doing. Look, we, like I said, soon as the show ends, we be right back on the internet researching these, being journalists. I ran across a video from the BET Awards, and granted, I probably haven't watched BET Awards since 1994. And it was somebody had a story where they were commenting on one of us jumped up in the middle with a stack, was a female. And I mean, she pretty much had on a bathing suit with a stack of money. Just, they was chanting some song, just going in, and some of the crowd got into it, and it went on for like 30 seconds. It was some city girl song about having money, yada, yada. And then the dude that was filming it, he flipped the camera around and was taking a selfie. He had the big, what was the Saul, the marionette, the clown. He had the big gold, chain with the chalk, with the white chalk line. And I'm just like, that's us, y'all. This is what it's come to. This is where we are.
This is where we are.
Yeah, and like Charleston White was saying, that's all you see. If they ain't trolling, somebody fighting. If they ain't fighting, trolling, somebody talking about somebody wife and how they wife they side chick, and I buy it. So I buy it. I buy it, man.
100. Man, I buy it as well, and it's crazy. Somebody just gave me a number. I can always forget who gave me that number. I don't know if it was you, my wife, one of my sons, but it said that 90% of the content on the internet is pornographic. 90% of the information that's on the internet is pornographic.
Bro, that's all you
and that's
see.
100. That's 100. I believe that. It was like I was talking to my wife about that when I got that number. Have y'all ever sit up and paid attention to like those? I don't know if y'all have Carl Jr. Burgers there in the Carolinas.
We got Hardee's. It's the same company.
It's the same. Okay. So I don't know if Hardee's commercials are like the Carl Jr. commercials, right? But very pornographic.
Yes, got the girl. They have a girl biting the cheeseburger, wiping the cheese off her lip, and she ain't got on hardly no clothes. Yeah, that's
right. That's a commercial. You see what I'm saying? And then, so when you get to the internet, that goes back to tell you Babylon. So you got the land of Israel, you got Zion, and then you got Babylon.
That's it. That's it.
We say we can make an easy distinction now. All praises to the Most High. You got the land of Israel, and then you got Babylon. In the land of Babylon, anything goes. There is no laws.
There's no laws.
There was no mountain top experience in Babylon. There was no lawgiver. Live as thou wont.
Live as thou wilt. Right. That's the whole of the law. That's what Aleister Crowley said.
Aleister Crowley. You see what I'm saying?
And that's how Babylonians live. That's how they live. There's no law.
And that was one of the things that she said. We look at those at the West sitting in front of the box all the time, talking about the TV and the internet.
That's it.
No other nation used the internet the way that we use. Other nations, they learn from the internet.
Right.
Us, it's like Ayob just said, the more ratchet, the better.
The better. That's the more drama, the better. The more fighting, the better. The better, man. The more everybody got to have a hustle because they want to try to live like these housewives of Atlanta.
Right.
You
got
women.
Go there. Look at our TV shows.
Yeah.
NBA Wives, Housewives of Atlanta. That's how we portray. And we love that. We need to stop supporting that. Whether you're an Israelite or not, we need to stop supporting that garbage because it makes all of us look bad.
Yeah. It does, man.
Tell you what I tell my kids. They don't always listen to me. But I tell them this all the time. This internet is a vast fountain of knowledge. People don't even have to go to college no more.
Nope.
Whatever you want to learn, you can learn it on the internet.
Yep.
The only thing you might not be able to do, and you can get it too, because what's that dude that's in the Senate right now that's being locked up for all of these deadgum lies and stuff? You can get one printed off. You can get your degree. You can get you a whole degree printed off on the internet. Just don't lie. Let it be known that you got it from the University of YouTube, okay?
Right. Absolutely. Yep. That's right. That's right up.
Use it for a tool of goodness instead of always own it. Looking at the most ratchetest stuff that you could find. Charleston, you knocked it out the bat with that one, brother. There is nothing good on the internet unless you go find it.
That's it.
Because just by clicking on it, oh, nah.
Well, you in trouble.
You in trouble.
And people get so addicted to it, they can't leave it alone, man. They just sink deeper and deeper into descent.
That's right.
By the next time you know it, you click in the Instagram, YouTube, your whole feed ain't nothing but ratchet.
Man, your algorithm, boy.
Oh my gosh. Boy,
algorithm just be toe up. Toe up. I appreciate y'all, yo. We appreciate having Zion Israel at the beginning of the show as well.
Yes.
We going into the month of July. Who we got coming up?
We got Monologue Magad will be in the building next month on the last Wednesday and Thursday of the month. He's going to be on here talking about his retirement album, the July 30th F3 event, and he's got some big announcements to make as well. So we're gonna, that's our brother. We've chopped it up with him a few times, and hung out here one time. He was on, and then in the Drip and Sip, him and King 7, we had to try to run. They was gonna kick us out of the spot because we was overtaking too long, chopping up with Mono. And then he was on a few weeks ago with him and his fam. The whole House of Mono was on talking about the F3 event. So he'll be on next month at the end of the month, the last Tuesday and Wednesday. So y'all stay tuned. But yeah, great show tonight, man. Zion Israel, we appreciate you, brother.
Yes, we do. I may be running a few extras as well on more information on this HIV and AIDS, because like I say, I got a lot that I want to say about that and talk about that, man. And if it's okay with Ayo, we might even come back on the show as well to talk about it some more too, man. Because like I said, there's so many of us who have been touched by this. And one thing that I do want to show is that they took a page out of that playbook in the 80s and 90s with this COVID-19 today. They haven't changed it up a whole lot.
Nope.
They took a playbook out of that and they used the same thing with the COVID-19 with us in today's time. The only difference is that it just was not causing people to drop off. Now, what we're seeing now is a resurgence of HIV commercials. Why? Because of the VACCINE.
Yep.
That's killing people's immune systems.
Yep.
And so they got to have an answer for that. Like, why all of a sudden? You see what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they blaming it on the HIV when it's not. It's Pfizer. It's the JJ. It's those things. And they use the same tactic. Eliyahu said that the Most High did not give us a spirit of fear.
Right.
Got to hold on to that. Because so many people took that jab out of fear.
Out of fear.
And now they're fearful because they took that jab.
Yes, man.
They seeing these people drop dead.
Man, I couldn't imagine, bro. I could not imagine.
I couldn't either, because it's almost like a timer, man. It's like it's like a timer.
It's like it's like time release. At some point, that clock is ticking. It's a biological clock that once again, real quick, mRNA. It is a messenger, and that code in your DNA, that time release, it releases that message, and once it clicks and clings to your DNA, it starts to interlock, and now it's a part of you, and it ain't nothing you can do to get it.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Go in there and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Look at Big Pokey.
Big Pokey, and you seen him actually lift up.
Like he lift up. Exactly.
He lift up like he knew this next breath was going to be it.
Right. Is this the last one? Yep. Exactly.
And then the young man that passed away after he took his vows. Yo, the young lady was a wife and a widow in the same hour.
That's right.
Great. That's
right.
The young 28-year-old that he took it. He died of a heart attack last week.
Yep.
Media is not talking about that.
Yep.
So
there is a basketball player in France that's right now blaming the jab for his sickness. He got an irregular heartbeat, and he say I healthy, never had nothing until. So we know we could go on and on with this. Y'all been great. I love y'all. Tell others about the show. Get them on up in here every Wednesday night. We want to thank Nasaya TV as well for allowing us to take a spot on, and we want to thank Sister Delta and the Light Hebrew Magazine, 3M, 3MG Music, 3MG Management.
Yes.
Thank them. We want to thank Zion Isreal for sitting down with us. Great interview, great interaction tonight. And I want to thank the best family in all of YouTube on any podcast. Thank y'all for spending this time with us.
Yeah, drop bombs on.
With that being said, we gonna run this last song, and then we up out of here.
Yeah, let's get it.
Envy and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descended not from above, but it's earthly.
I don't care what people say about me, as long as it's evident that I'm a servant of the Most High. Everything else to me is irrelevant. I heard someone questioning, who does she think she better than? But the gag is, I don't think that I'm something when I know I'm nothing. I'm not that negligent. I done been through the storm and been through the rain. By the grace of God, I weathered it. It will take more to your lack of intelligence to get me out of my element. My righteousness takes precedence, so I reciprocate hate with benevolence. What there is envy and strife is every evil work, so I'm straight on that messiness. Stay conscious of people around me, cause wickedness is spreading like a pestilence. And unrighteousness among the righteous is quickly becoming too prevalent. A lot of people can't handle the truth, but I'm not your therapist. An open rebuke is better than secret love, that's why I'm expressing this. I'm saying it once, and this will be the only time I'm addressing it. You can say what you want, but I won't be bothered by it or stressing it. Cause envy and strife descended not from above, but it's earthly, sensual, devilish. But the blessing of the Lord, it make it rich, and it added no sorrow with it.
Now let that sizzle in your spirit.
Let me set the record straight.
Cause see, everything I do, I do it for the glory of God.
All glory be to God.